Yo, what's up? You got your boy Nandra here. Welcome to another video. So for this video, I'm going to be showing you guys one game. This game is versus dshift. Now, I actually did not get to play that much dshift while trying out this weird like homebrew. Well, it's not really a homebrew. I actually got it from my boy Kiri. He got it from Twitter, but it's really more of a net deck. But yeah. So this is gonna be part of my beating dshift. So let me show you guys the deck list. It's on the roulette for ease of use. As you can see, it's basically mid-shadow. So I know one thing that a lot of people talk about is that like for mid-shadow versus dshift, that's like unfavorable for mid-shadow. That's like dshift favorite. I don't think that's true, and I do think that like if you really want to beat dshift, that there are in fact things that you can do in order to improve your matchup, such as for example running phantom howl. Like not having out of hand damage and then complaining about losing to dshift. That's really more of a, well, that's on you. Like it's not like on like the dshift player. That's just on you for like not attacking properly for the matchup. Additionally, it's not like you know any of these like, it's not like any of the attacks that you could like use versus dshift are like that bad, but in particular just because you know it's out of hand damage. Out of hand damage is what you want because like it helps you versus control. It's just, you know, it's a really good thing to have. So let's hop into the game. And of course we got the insight. Alright, so as you can see, my opponent is like AA, which is, you know, it does mean that he might not be as good of a dshift player. But I have the Shadow Reaper in hand, I have the Twilight Queen. Now, I actually did play a similar game of this while I was using my bad aggro list, which was, you know, less mid-rangey, more trying to be like weird like hyper aggro, but sort of like hyper mid-range, but or really more of like I guess like fast echttar. Anyway, so I go ahead and toss down the Goblin. I have the Bone Chimera, I have the Shadow Reaper. I have a really good hand now. So here he uses Magic Missile. Kegel would have been better, probably, but he doesn't have it. This is fine. Like he's still digging for answers, and one of the things that you need to capitalize on is that when you're playing versus dshift, you need to make wide boards. Like additionally, right now, a lot of these dshift players that they're playing a lot of like really bad tech, like for example, Rites of Exorcism. Rites of Exorcism, that's not a card you should be playing. Like as dshift, like you want to be playing more so to your win cons, more so than what your opponent can do to you. This is part of why we've seen the change to that of Magic Owl. But here he goes Magic Missile. He doesn't use on the Chimera. To be honest, there is probably a little bit of merit in using on the Chimera just this way you don't get forced into an awkward spot like you're going to be forced into now, where, oh, look at that. I evolved this Chimera and I just going to crack it into your face. So now he not only has to clear off the Chimera, he also has to clear the skeletons come afterwards. And I play out the second Chimera here as opposed to playing out the Shadow Reaper, just because I want to have as many tokens in play as possible, just because he can't actually get rid of all these tokens. Like it's going to take him way too long unless he puts in multiple creatures into play. Like say for example, unless he plays that mini Chimera, or unless he plays that Magic Owl. But what I'm aiming for here is I'm aiming for the mini Chimera. So here I just gonna go Goblin Princess. So now I have a very large board. Again, same thing as last time. I'm just gonna evolve. I'm gonna go face. I decided to do it this way because right now what I'm aiming for is, oh, I play Catacombs on 6 for like 3 to 4 creatures, and you just lose because if I have Echttar, you lose. He also hasn't spell boosted that much, which is also very important to note. So now here, the correct thing to do is to, you know, go ahead and trade into this Chimera, which he does, which means I lose one skeleton, but this is fine because he trades into the Merlin, which is actually great for me. Or sorry, he trades into the Goblin Princess, which is actually great for me. The correct play is, I think, to actually trade into one of these small guys. The reason why is because this way I would get forced to make one more trade, but now I don't need to do that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and trade, play Lurching Corpse, and I'm just going to go face. I do this specifically because I know that he can't actually ward up in the same turn, as well as get rid of this Lurching Corpse, and have that be a play that actually like wins in the game. He's going to need to have like fire embraces here, not any of like all the like this like small crap, because now he's still dead because he also went ahead and traded for me. So yeah, still dead because now he's dead to Echttar, or he's just dead to, you know, me doing some really fancy plays like so. So I'll go ahead and trade. And as I said before in a previous video, the good thing about The good thing about playing with like mid shadow and whatnot is that you get to go ahead and consolidate your damage if you're using Shadow Reapers. Like ordinarily in a situation like that, me trading into a unit, I would have lost damage, but here I actually gained damage. Because now I'm gonna go ahead and use Demon Eater, blow up his Flame Destroyer, evolve, go face for 8, and he loses. Now, granted, do not get me wrong. He had like some suboptimal cards. Like he was using like for example, he was using Rites of Exorcism, which I don't think is very good for, you know, accomplishing the dshift agenda of like, you know, being a fast combo deck. Like no, like he's trying to slow it down, and I don't think that's good. Just because like, what are you trying to hit with it? Like I don't think it's any like good like units for you to like hit with it. That actually makes it like better than you know, just using like your 3 of Fire Embrace or like your 3 of Mega Wind Blast or whatever. But yeah, like he ultimately lost just because, again, having Shadow Reapers and stuff that actually does help improve the matchup a lot, just because you get to consolidate all of your damage onto a single focal point, and for all intents and purposes, the Shadow Reaper basically has Storm, because your opponent will not be able to interact with it until after you've like already hit them in the face with it. And of course, it sets you up to use things like, say, Catacombs, and transition yourself into a spot where you can use Eachtar to get the finish. But as you saw in that game there, like basically the only thing I did was, you know, I played very aggressive on the turn when he went ahead and he had a creature in play. I didn't make trades unless those trades were in fact like heavily beneficial for me. So as you saw there, I only started to make trades after I got the Reaper into play, when I was trying to like fish for lethal. Because that's how you need to play versus dshift. You don't need to like give your opponents like creatures any like additional value, because they already have a lot of intrinsic value on their own. Like Merlin gets you that spell boost, draws you those 2 cards. Magical gets you 2 spell boosts. Levi already does this work, already busts up the board. You don't want to simplify the board any more than you need to. You want to make the board stay as complicated as possible, because you make it as complicated as possible, that means that he now needs to have more answers in order to deal with the stuff you're doing. You don't really need to care about your HP, because again, he's a combo deck. When you die, it's almost assuredly not going to be because you took any like chip damage outside of, say, stuff like, say, Giant Chimera. But you can worry about that on like turn 8 or like his like turn 7 if he has a lost spell boost and has like 2 dshift in hand. But until that happens, you need to be focused on going face. dshift players, they don't have healing. There's no healing in the deck outside of the 1 healing from like the certain concentration build. But 1 healing doesn't mean anything. It doesn't. Well, it usually doesn't. But yeah, if you enjoyed the video, go and leave a like, go and hit the subscribe button. Thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you guys next time.